No Exit is a brand new Hulu original thriller that was released today. And it's supposedly based off of some popular book. I've never even heard of it. But I saw it was a thriller. I saw it was on Hulu. And I said, why the fuck not? Let's check it out. It's got Dennis Haysbert. I think that's his name. From 24. That's how I know him. David Palmer, 24. A lot of people know him from the Allstate commercials. I like the dude a lot, so I was stoked to see him in this. He doesn't play a major role, but he definitely plays a bigger secondary role. So what this movie's about is it's weird. With movies like this, it's always like, to what extent do you want to tell people what this is about? Because it's... I don't know.
Well, there's a twist and there's a mystery that's going on, but I mean, it's about a group of people who get, snowed in together, essentially. They're at a visitor center waiting for a storm to pass before they can all go their separate ways. And the main girl, which it's revealed very early on, is a drug addict in recovery. And we're kind of following her when she gets a message that leads her away from the rehab center that she's at.
And then while she's there, she discovers something that makes her question the people around her. Yeah. There we go. Yeah. That's good.
See?
Right?
Vague.
Okay.
Vague enough.
Vague enough. Okay. So with this movie, this is a really frustrating film for me because, like, I feel like this is an almost there kind of movie. Like, there's a lot of things from this I quite enjoyed. But then there's things that, like, just brought it down here and there enough for me to be like, damn it. Like, there was just moments where I was like, no, don't do that. No, don't do that. Come on, no. Don't do that. You're hurting the movie now. Because I was into it. And then I was like, okay. And then I kind of got more into it. I like the twist reveals throughout.
I do too.
And the reasoning behind them and the twist behind the reasons as well.
Yeah.
I thought all of that was cool. And I did enjoy that stuff. But it really comes down to the thing that always kills movies like this for me. It's just dumb character decisions in extremely vital moments.
Sure.
That shit drives me fucking batty. Where you just go, come on, would they do that in this situation? And we've talked about this on the channel a million times, and I've brought it up enough till I'm blue in the fucking face. I apologize to anyone who's watched my videos enough and gets enough of this. I know I say it a lot, but it's like, I'm not the guy who's like, no, this is what I do.
No, it's not. Yeah, it's definitely not a matter of like, I would do this, and you can't get behind like what the character's doing that makes sense for their character and their motivations and everything. It's more of like common sense. Type of thing.
No one would do this.
Yeah, that definitely was really frustrating in this. It wasn't the entire movie. Like, there's plenty of decisions that were fine and made sense and were like, definitely I was there for those. But then the ones that didn't, it does take you out of the film. And there's also like another part that we talked about that's like a critical point that really makes no sense when you think about it. Which that makes no sense out of context, because I can't say anymore.
Sure.
But there's just there's a part that's very confusing because it just begs a lot of questions of like, well, then why wouldn't this have happened? And wouldn't this be like how they would act?
It's because of, well, I think you're talking about, it's because of a medical condition.
Right.
Right. And that makes it's there to add to the tension, but all it does is it adds to the illogic.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, of all the illnesses you could pick, this is the one that makes the least sense
given the
for
situation.
this situation.
Yeah.
So that really annoyed me. I was like, what? But I do feel like this. I definitely feel like this film, for sure, has its audience. This is not a film where I can sit here and be like, no recommendation at all. This was good. No. This was terrible. That's not what I'm saying. This didn't work for me. I feel like for the same reasons. It didn't work for her. But there's enjoyability here. And I think this will absolutely work for anyone who's into thrillers that they can accept and don't really care about like typical tropes.
Sure.
Where they're just like, oh, well, I mean, movie logic, I know people shouldn't do that, but I accept it. If you go along for the ride, I think this is good. Yeah. Like, it's good. That's it. I don't think in any context this is great. But I think that if you're to look past those moments that made me go, come on, because it just, what it does is it makes me lack. This is the problem with bad character decisions in movies like this for me, is that it makes me lose any kind of like I lose all the rooting that I have for the character. It makes you go, I fucking hope you die now. Like, and I don't, that's kind of dickish, like as a human to another human, being like, you made a dumb decision, you should die. But in a movie, it's just that detachment of like, come on, man, you're making it really hard for me to sympathize with you. Like, you've been given these opportunities and you're squandering them for no good reason. Yeah. Give me a reason why they're squandered, and I'm fine. Just come up with something that doesn't slap me across the face as irresponsible or just outright dumb and you know, you're just somebody who's not thinking of self-preservation.
Yeah, and it's not just like you're in a terrifying situation and you're scared and can't think straight. It's not really that. It's the self-preservation. And also with movies like this where it relies so much on what, like the character's ability to get themselves to a safe place or out of harm's way, and there's no other like luck or like heroes coming in or anything like that. Like, it's all purely self-reliance. So there needs to be like that drive in them to want, you know, to make the smart decisions, even if they're getting thwarted with other things, other characters or other roadblocks or anything.
The movie is also very reliant on twists because there are a good amount of them and they're supposed to have a great impact in the film. And I feel like the execution of the twists don't properly land because we don't get enough character development throughout the film of all the other characters. And even the main character, there's enough as a driving force. But I think what this movie also lacks with her is a reminder of what her goals are. Right? Because she finds something out and this is what's driving her. And then I think we lose sight of that because of what she then runs into from there. And I feel like that we should be getting reminders of what's driving her through this. And I also feel like we don't get enough time with the other characters to care about when the twists happen, so that if there is some kind of a betrayal, you know, or a ruse or any of those kinds of things, that you don't feel it as much because you haven't grown in an attachment one way or the other, right? Like, characters are pretty flat. Like, they're either presented as villainous instantly or they're presented as heroic. And it's not really earned. It's just kind of in like shallow mannerisms or like a quick throwaway story of I was in the Marines.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Yeah, like I need more to that personal stuff and interactions and chemistry and you know, like the opposite of chemistry, like oil and water, like unattraction as well. Yeah. What would I say there for that?
I don't know. I mean, yeah, unattraction or like just like repelling personalities. But I'm sure there's a better word. I just can't think of one right now.
But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel like that's why I said this is an almost there film. Mm-hmm. They have good elements. They have good twists. They have a good setup. They have a good location. They have fine enough actors. They have everything kind of like they've taken it like halfway there.
Sure.
And I feel like they just didn't take that next step on anything. Like, I didn't feel... There was nothing in this film that I was like, oh, that was awesome.
Right.
It was like, that was cool. Okay, I like that. I didn't really like that. Oh, that character's fine. That character's okay. I'm kind of rooting for this character. I kind of don't want this character to die. I hope this character isn't a bad person. You know, but if they are, oh well. Like, I'm not invested enough. I'm kind of just along for the ride. And in a movie like this, I feel like you need to be completely engaged, right? You have to be so stressed out because you're so connected to who you're watching go through this. And then if they are revealed to be a bad person or something, you go, oh, fuck, no, what? Not them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No, I agree. I wasn't as invested as I could have been in any of the characters, unfortunately, but I thought the performance from the main girl was really good. I enjoyed that. And there's some really cool shots as far as like the cinematography goes. So the production quality is all really nice. But yeah, I mean, it's like you said, it's a good film. I think that there's definitely an audience for it out there that would be really into it, but it's not something that I would ever really rewatch again personally, and will probably forget about after a while.
As far as shot selection, like you said, like there's a couple shots that you liked. That's all fine and well, and I can understand what shots you're talking about, but I don't want to confuse you guys and make no mistake about it. There's no style to this film.
No. And I mean, saying things like that, like it's not like that is what makes it a wonderful movie or something.
No, I know.
It's just that there are things that are done well, and maybe other people would appreciate like the overall film more than I do. But yeah, it's not a super stylized movie at all. But it's just there are some good scenes that I enjoyed the setup to them. So
yeah, I feel like hire any semi-competent director that doesn't have like a specific style,
sure,
and this is the exact film that they're all gonna make.
Yeah,
right. There's no.
It's nothing super unique.
Yeah, there's no stamp on this that it's like, oh, I'm watching an Edgar Wright movie. I'm watching a Wes Anderson movie, a Tim Burton movie, a Quentin Tarantino movie. Right. Like, those are directors, every one of them, that 5 minutes in, you're like, this feels like this person.
Right.
I know where I'm at. This is just, putting the script to screen.
Yeah.
And that can be fine. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. There's plenty of movies that I love like that. But anyways, that's that.
Yeah.
So no exit. Yeah. They named it this because if there was an exit, you'd leave the fucking theater. This isn't playing in theaters.
That doesn't work.
That doesn't work. That's why they didn't put it in theaters. Because then people would have found the exit. I don't know what I'm saying. I didn't say the jokes were good. It was about as good as this movie.
Aww.
Alright, we're done.
All right,
bye.